So we thought we'd watch a Christmas film, but I didn't get anything for Christmas that was a Christmas film.
Well, hang on. I know, I've just got you a gift.
Oh,
from me to you.
Thank you very much. I can't guess what it is.
What's it gonna be?
Let's have a look. It's terrible wrapping.
I'm not known for my wrapping.
It's a horror film at Christmas.
At Christmas.
It's called The Children.
Convenient. Christmas.
Oh, the best day of the year. And everybody.
Now this is heaven.
So The Children is about a family that goes away for the holidays. They stay at a nice big country house. There's two families there. And basically one of the kids finds some frog spawn. Which
evil frog spawn.
Evil frog spawn that basically has a virus that infects the children, and the children, for some reason, decide to become homicidal and try and kill their parents.
Yeah.
That's enough.
It's never really explained what it is that turns them, but in a way it doesn't need to be, because it's the whole horrific nature that your children, who you love, are then attacking you.
Yeah, and they are going to kill you, so the only thing you've got to do is kill them. Like any horror film, you watch it for the deaths.
Yeah.
And there's like death by sledge.
Death by door.
Yeah.
At one point where someone smashes through the door and then they get impaled.
Yeah, but you feel a bit morally wrong watching it, because you're like,
definitely.
you really are rooting for the parents to kill those kids, but it's awful because they're little kids.
Yeah, it's a really strange one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because it really plays with some very dark tones. It's part of Vertigo Films, which are known for doing out there filmmaking. Fiercely British. The guys at Bronson, for instance.
Which is a brilliant film.
A brilliant film. Watch that.
Yeah.
But how off the wall that kind of is reflected in this horror film in a way, with the really grim subject matter of what would you do if the one thing you care about most in the world is hunting you down.
Yeah.
And who isn't scared of small children? I know I am.
Yeah, they are terrifying.
You brought them into this world.
They attacked me. Joe, I think they're sick.
Now,
Oh my god, I love you both so much.
they will take you out.
So this Christmas, lock your kids up, because they could turn into homicidal maniacs and try and kill you.
Make sure you've got good presents. Because
Yeah,
if you haven't, woo.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's very tongue-in-cheek, really.
Yeah.
The subject matter, I mean, it's about kids going crazy and trying to kill the parents, and the parents are battering these kids to death in some scenes. You've got to kind of take it with a big pinch of salt, very tongue-in-cheek, because it's crazy.
Yeah.
But it works, because I haven't really seen many films like this. You've got stuff like Children of the Corn, things like that, but this is a very British version of that.
Yeah, it's almost a, I don't know, a take on those films, isn't it? Like what you say, you're watching it and these horrific things are happening, but there is an element that the filmmakers know what they're doing here, and it is tongue-in-cheek. It does deal with the darker elements. It doesn't shy away from what it is presented, but it you do feel comfortable watching it, even when the things you're seeing are horrific.
The children.
Where's Mummy?
The characters are interesting. The main kind of emphasis really is this a teenage character who kind of finds herself in a awkward family environment. She doesn't really want to be there. She's part of a reconstituted family, so her stepfather is there with her child, with his child, who's almost this spoiled brat, really.
Yeah.
It's the teenager's kind of quest to find her place. She's not an adult yet, so she can't really be part of her uncle and her auntie and her mother's kind of clique, her little thing, but equally she's not a child, and you see a lot of the turning points where you begin to see, hang on, these children aren't right, something's wrong here. You see it through the teenager's viewpoint, because she's still not an adult. It is rooted in that kind of that family dynamic though in a way that it felt very real, that she's not getting listened to because she's a little bit kind of snotty. She's your typical teenager that doesn't really know her boundaries, and she's pushing things, and she's doing things she shouldn't be doing. And because of all of that, when it's almost like the girl that cries wolf, when things do go wrong, she doesn't get listened to. And that's quite an interesting little dynamic, because it justifies, like what you say, those classic horror conventions. So in a way, that the plot is straightforward, I suppose, but it's entertaining in its way it presents that straightforward plot. Things build. It is a bit of a slow burner to begin with. As the children start to turn, they start off, just one of them gets infected, and then that builds and builds, and it becomes creepier and creepier, and you're noticing these very vulnerable characters of children. They start to see it in the other children that something is wrong, but they can't express that. They don't know how to convey that, and the adults are dismissive of it
until they start dying.
Yeah, and they change the tune. But yeah, so it plays out relatively straightforward in a way, but there's some really interesting interesting ways in which they die. There's interesting ways in which the film builds. We don't really want to give too much away, but it does build and build, and it really does have this feel of birds. Like, I'm a big fan of the birds, because it's just like, what would you do if? Yeah. And that's the important thing. What would you do if your children started attacking you? What would you do if the birds started attacking you? Not why have they done it? You don't need that.
Well, it's like the Romero zombie films. There's like different theories as to why, and you hear in the film Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead, and so on, that there's reasons why this has happened, but it doesn't matter. You don't need to know,
aren't you? You don't need that in a way. And I think the children are very, very much like that. You're immersed in the experience and the feel of it, and the kind of story itself that I didn't really sit there thinking, well, hang on, why are they acting like this? I was just part of it. It was like, bloody hell, imagine if that happened to me this Christmas.
I've got my armoury ready for them damn kids. So we want your comments. If your kids went crazy and tried to kill you, or any kids you know, how would you dispose of them? So to sum up, The Children, very enjoyable film. If you're a horror buff and you haven't yet seen it, it's well worth watching. British film fan as well. It's a good film to watch, definitely.
Solid, entertaining piece, really, isn't it? It does what it says on the tin. It's horror, it's scary, it makes you think, it makes you put yourself in those characters' shoes.
Yeah, definitely.
It's quite contained as well. Again, I'm a big fan of contained things, films, but it's all set in one location, but it's all around the holiday.
Yes.
There's reason why they can't escape, there's reasons why help isn't arriving. So it's that idea of you as an individual against an enemy. That's always a fun concept. Yeah,
very entertaining film. Give it a watch.
So keep watching our show. We're going to keep reviewing undiscovered British films that we want to show you, really. There's amazing films being made out there every single year. We're going into 2014 now. There's going to be some brilliant films out there. Hopefully ours. So do keep reviewing. Please post your comments below. We want to hear what you guys are watching as well. And please keep reviewing, keep watching British films. There's some great stuff out there.
So Paul, how would you react if kids everywhere under the age of 10 went crazy and tried to stab you? What would you do?
See, to me, kids under the age of 10, they're already crazy. So I'll do what I always do, run away.
Run away.
Run from children.
See, I'd get right, and because that'd be nice on Christmas.
That's the Christmas spirit, really.
It is the Christmas spirit.